You have me and Carson here. So I know I know you know Casey, right? She's part of my team.
Yep.
Cool. So very long story short, just to make sure we can all get to our next calls and appointments. We have a house that we're going to be buying as a rental. And the last property I worked with that I think even you maybe even did the floorings at one point in Tulsa. There was another contractor that did some other work on it and totally fucked us in a really terrible way. And so that is its own issue. But now I'm really looking for contractors that can do the complete job and are trustworthy and do good work. And why I'm having this call is we have another guy that we're looking at because we want to buy a decent amount of investments, right? And so we want to try to create the relationship that provides value to both sides, not just one property at a time. So I say all that to say we already have one contractor that's going to give us a bid. It's only good business to kind of just find two or three people and make sure that we can find the right people that aren't necessarily the cheapest, by the way. I'm not as concerned with that, but that are just going to do good work, right? And, so we have a guy that's going to go see the property, I think today. We'd like to get you in it to give a bid. The reason why I'm having a conversation with Carson is because I want to make sure we're all on the same understanding of like what a bid really means to us. And I've had plenty of contractors that go quote unquote bid a job for me, and they come back with a price, a dollar amount, $40,000, and there's nothing line itemed. Like no materials, no labor, nothing. So you don't actually know what you're getting. They literally will say interior 20 grand, exterior 20 grand. And you're like, I don't know how you're in business, baller. Like, what is that? If we can find time, I'm going to allow you, I'll keep this short. I'll allow you and Carson to kind of line up the timing for you to try to bid the job for us. Again, we're getting the home inspected by an inspector. We're paying for a full-blown inspection since we're keeping it, right? So I want some of the stuff like the pipes and electrical and some of the bigger stuff that, your remodel budget won't usually entail. So we're going to pay for that to make sure, there's no big ticket items that need to be fixed. And then if you can go walk the property based around a rental model, meaning, if the cabinets are good enough, I'm happy to keep them and paint them white. If they are destroyed and whatever, then I'm also happy to replace them. But I don't need to pimp out the property, right? I don't need to do granite and so, right. But new paint, potentially new carpeting or whatever. So anyways, I think you totally get it. I'll leave the rest up to you and Carson to schedule the right time because the seller's an older individual and scheduling time has been a little bit of a challenge, to say the least. And then, do you have any questions for me or Carson at all?
I don't think so. I did have one thought on the bigger ticket items and stuff that you're getting fixed. Do you guys have to that you trust?
No. So my point to the inspection is to see if it needs to be fixed and then have that discussion with whatever GC we choose, whether it's you or the other gentleman, and say, hey, inspection came back saying, whatever the case is, right? And then I'll say, hey, what does that look like? And do you have good, subs that can do that? Because likely it's not under your umbrella per se, right? Because it'd be usually electrical or plumbing or maybe even a roof. But so we would have that discussion with whatever GC we choose between you and the other gentleman. And I just always try to be honest, right? Like I never try to overpromise, under deliver. That's why I'm telling you there's another gentleman also bidding it, is because I try to do good business, right? I don't want to sideswipe you and be like, oh, bro, it's not your job. It's like,
sure.
So anyways.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Cars, if you can start to line up with Landon, the timing with the seller and all that for him to walk it, I think we're all good here.
Sweet.
Roger that. All right, guys.
Good.
Appreciate your time. Bye.
All right, sounds good.
Bye. What's up?